Hello folks, welcome back to the shop. If you're new to using a manual milling machine, the amount of stuff you have to learn can be very overwhelming. And don't feel so bad, because even the most seasoned machinists will learn something new pretty much every time they get on their machine. One of the first tools I learned how to use when I started the hobby was an edge finder. This little contraption here is one of my favorite tools to have in the home shop. This one here is one of your more common styles. It's got a 3/8 shank and a 0.2 inch tip on it. There are a few other sizes that you can get, but this, for the most part, is the most common. If you're using a machine with metric dials, don't worry, they make metric versions of these too for you folks that don't use imperial units. So let's get this thing chucked up and I'll show you how it works. First off, you want to get yourself a good collet. This one here is a Lindex. I paid, I want to say, about $18 for this thing at a local tool supply store. You could find them on Amazon, but the higher quality one, the better. Because the more concentric this thing turns with the axis of your spindle, the more accurate this thing will be. So let's get it chucked up. One of the first things I noticed when I started shopping for my own tools for the home machine shop is how expensive things can get. But don't worry, these little edge finders are really inexpensive. You can find name brand ones on Amazon right now, like Mitutoyo and Starrett, for about $20. Sometimes less if you could find a good deal, which in my opinion for a home machinist, that is really, really affordable. They're quite simple little contraptions. All it is just a shank with a tip that's held together with a spring, and it's able to glide on a face. So the best way to demonstrate how this thing works is to use it to do an operation on a piece that I'm working on. And this piece of metal is 1.6 inches long and 0.6 inches wide. I need to drill 2 holes in it. They need to be center line and 0.3 inches from the outer edges. So how do we measure that exact distance and get it really accurate? Well, that's where the edge finder comes in. The whole purpose of this thing is to find yourself on a coordinate system, on a 2D coordinate system. So you could use any corner you want. I like to use the upper left corner as my 0. And the idea is to find one edge and 0 it on your dial for whatever axis that edge rides along, and then find another edge and 0 that on its dial for whatever axis that rides along, whether it be Y or X. So I'm going to get this in the vise and we'll go through it. So I have my piece clamped into the vise. I use a parallel to lift it up out of the vise so I have an exposed edge to use with the edge finder. I'm going to run about 1500 RPM. Give it a little flick and make sure that it's good and wobbly. Bring our quill down. You want to bring the edge of your part really slowly into the tool, and you'll see how the wobble will slowly go away. And eventually, you'll see it jog over just like that. We'll do it again. Come in real slowly. And it's jogged over again. So one of the clever things the makers of this tool did was making the tip of that 0.2 inches or 200 thou. Because on most of your manual milling machines out there that use imperial units, run a 200 thou dial. So when you 0 your dial here, you will 0 it to 100 because we are offset 100 thou from the center line of that tool. Now, let's find this edge. Bring our dial into 0, and then go over another 100 thou or so. That way we move the part over into the axis of our spindle. Bring this back. Move our quill down. And slowly bring it into the tool. Give it a little wobble. Nice and easy. Take your time at first. This could be very finicky. Don't rush it. And if you need to, go back and double check. So that looks like I'm right on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my dial in and give it another try. Now, if my dial stops on the same exact spot, I know I'm right there. So it looks like we overshot just a little bit. Go ahead and shut off the machine. Bring our quill back up. And then bring our dial to 0. And we'll go ahead and zero our y-axis back out here. If you remember, we came over an extra 100 thou, so we had an edge to run up against. So we'll bring ourselves back. Now when doing this, I'm rotating the opposite direction of when I zeroed it in, so there's backlash introduced. So you want to over-rotate about half a turn and then come back in to your zero. That way you eliminate any issues of backlash causing inaccuracies in your edge. So now I've found both of these edges, and my 0 point is this upper left corner. So if I need to drill a hole that's 300 thousandths in, 0.3 inches, I'll just dial in my y-axis 300 ticks, a turn and a half. Same thing for my x. If I want to come in 300 thou, I'll just dial in that side another 300 thou, and that will get me exactly on the point that I need to be on my piece to drill the hole that I need to drill. So I'm going to go ahead and drill those holes for you and show you exactly how precise this thing can be. So I've gone ahead and chucked up a centering bit in my collet, and I'm going to dial in the location of the first hole I need to drill. So now I'm going to go in 0.3 inches. Each rotation of this crank is 0.2 inches. So that's 0.2 at 100 here. Too far. And there we go, 300 thousandths or 0.3 inches. We're going to do the same for the x-axis. So once again, one rotation, 0.2, plus a half a rotation, 0.3. So I'm going to bring my quill down just to double check to make sure I visually see that my hole is going to be in about the right place. And that looks just fine. We're centered between these two edges and what looks like just over a 1/4 inch from that edge over to here. So let's go ahead and get these holes center marked. A little bit of Magic Tap cutting fluid. We're in low speed. We'll go, I don't know, 350 RPM. This is 303 stainless, so it's pretty tough. I don't want to push it too hard. And it's nice and easy. Let's try that again. So now I'm going to use the same bit to mark my other hole. And since I've already found my edges, I could always go back to each one of them very precisely so I don't lose my place. So this one needs to be 1 inch over, so I'm going to crank my dial 5 full turns. Same thing, a little cutting oil. That looks about right. It's a nice easy mark. That looks outstanding. So you can see here I have my 2 holes marked, my 2 center points, and they're right dead in line with the center line of my piece here. If I get my caliper tool here, set it to 300 thou, and just eyeball it, and just looking at that, I know that I am right on the mark. So now I just need to install my drill chuck and drill these holes out to the final size. From there you can see just how essential the edge finder is to have for a manual machine in a home machine shop. It really makes tasks like this much easier and much more precise. I hope you learned something today. Please consider subscribing, and thanks for watching.